Have you ever wondered how your money can work for you? Now, we're not talking about clocking in 9 to 5, but about an idea that's as old as civilization itself. Think of your money not just as a means of exchange, but as a tool that can generate more wealth. Imagine for a moment that you're planting a seed. As time passes, that seed sprouts, grows into a tree, and eventually it starts producing more seeds. Now picture your money in the same way. You plant it in the right place, give it time, and voila, it starts to grow, producing more money in the process. This isn't some far-fetched notion or a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a fundamental principle of finance that's been at play since the dawn of commerce. So, how does this happen? Let's dive into the world of compound interest. Imagine a magic potion that can multiply your money over time. That's compound interest for you. Now, what is this magic potion? Let's break it down. Compound interest is the interest you earn on both your original money and on the interest you continually accumulate. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, growing bigger and bigger with each roll. So how does it work? Well, there's a formula. The final amount equals the initial principal amount times 1 plus the annual interest rate divided by the number of compounding periods, all raised to the power of the number of compounding periods times the time the money is invested for. Whew, that's a mouthful, isn't it? But don't get lost in the numbers. The key takeaway is that time is your best friend when it comes to compound interest. The more time you give your money to grow, the more it multiplies. Now let's hear a real-life story about the power of compound interest. Introducing John, an average individual with a remarkable financial adventure. John was as normal as any of us. Neither was he born into wealth, nor was he a monetary savant. However, what made John exceptional was his grasp of a basic yet formidable principle: compound interest. Let's take a trip back to John's teenage years. He took up a part-time job at a neighborhood grocery store. His earnings were humble, but instead of exhausting it all, he chose to conserve a minor part of it. He began with just $25 a month. It wasn't a substantial sum, but it was a commencement. John not only stowed his money in a piggy bank or underneath his mattress, he opted to invest it in the stock market that provided compound interest. This is where the miracle began. Even with an interest of merely 2%, his capital started expanding, not merely due to his input, but also from the interest he was accumulating. John was unvarying with his savings. Each month, unfailingly, he set aside his $25. And annually, he saw his investment account balance augment. However, it was not just the balance that was burgeoning. The interest he was accruing was also escalating. This is the spell of compound interest. John was patient as well. He recognized that the real might of compound interest lies in endurance. Thus, he refrained from touching his investments. He allowed it to multiply, year upon year, over his tiny monthly savings, transformed into a considerable wealth. John's critical decisions, the funds he saved, the consistency of his savings, and his patience to let his finances multiply were the propelling factors behind his financial triumph. His journey was not about amassing wealth quickly. It was about comprehending the might of compound interest and utilizing it to amass fortune. John's tale is a tribute to the power of compound interest. How can you harness this power for your future? You too can make your money work for you, just like John. The keys to compound interest are simple, yet require discipline and patience. First, start saving early. The sooner you begin, the more time your money has to compound and grow. Secondly, save regularly. Whether it's a small amount every week or a larger sum each month, consistency is key. Compound interest works best when it's fed regularly. Now, patience is the secret ingredient here. You must let your money grow over time. It's like a seedling that needs time to grow into a mighty tree. It's not about quick gains, but about the slow accumulation of wealth over years, even decades. So stay disciplined, be patient, and let the magic of compound interest work for you. Remember, compound interest is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but a slow and steady path to financial freedom.